Hello there everyone, the Jabba here, and today I am very excited to show you guys something I've been working on for a long time. I actually made a video about this on my channel not too long ago, but this is my upgraded version of Jabba's palace. This originally started as just me modifying the Boba Fett's palace, trying to make it as similar to the 2013 one as possible, and then it just kind of went out of hand and it came to this. I made my own custom Rancor pit, I fixed the roof of the building, I added on to the watchtower. It really just became its own thing. You can't even really call this Boba Fett's palace anymore. This is Jabba's palace, the ultimate Jabba's palace playset, in my opinion. This took a lot of time to put together. You guys saw a little bit of it on my channel. I also posted some stuff on my Instagram about this a few months ago, just working on it with like the Rancor pit and stuff. So a lot of time went into this, and I can't wait to show you guys everything about this set. So let's start at the top with Jabba's palace. So when talking about designing this set, I know I've mentioned a lot that I've really been trying to capture that 2013's overall design and just the way it looked with its nice roof, the taller tower, the interior kind of replicating that a little bit. So that was a huge influence in this design, and like I said, things kind of got carried away from there. I started adding different things, extra detail, and just stuff that I would want to see in a Jabba's palace. So it kind of started off as a trying to recreate the 2013 one with my own pieces and stuff and what I had on hand, and then it just kind of went out of control from there. But we'll start off here with the interior. I'm going to do my best to get some light in there. It is a little difficult with that roof. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm just going to take the roof off and see. That helps a little bit. So taking some of the minifigures out of the way here, we have this kind of grill piece right here. That was also used in the original one, I believe. It's so you can kind of have your minifigures looking down into the Rancor pit and watching as Luke fights the Rancor. So I think that was a very essential detail putting into this build. We have Luke standing right in front of Jabba. We have 3PO over on the right. And right there we have Boba Fett. That is a custom version of the Cloud City one. I do not have a real one. It's not pad printed. So just wanted to state that out. I do not have one. But over here we have an Ithorian standing by this pillar, and on the other side we have Dengar. And one thing that I really wanted to capture here was like just the overall crowdedness of it and just the overall vibe of the 2013 one, like I keep saying. Over here on the left we have Jack Sparrow with a bottle of rum. He goes where the rum goes, of course. So I thought that was a cool little Easter egg. Over on top of that we have a skeleton with a cool helmet on it. That's from the Ninjago Tournament of Elements wave of sets back in, I think that was 2014, 2015, I believe. Anyways, we have Bib Fortuna right there. That's the Boba Fett throne room. That's the only one I have. Back there, we have a chef with a pizza box, because if you can look behind Jabba, we have a little pizza oven. Actually, I'll take Jabba out so you guys can see that better. Just a little brick oven pizza thing. I thought it was kind of cool. In the original sets, he has like this spigot that he roasts meat on, and I thought Jabba the Hutt, Pizza the Hutt, that would be kind of funny. So I just made it like a little pizza brick oven. Like I said, we have 3PO over there, and if I move him, you can kind of see we have just like a little table with some drinks on it, and then we have a helmet. That's from the Rise of Skywalker, I believe, one of the Knights of Ren. So that's pretty cool. Put 3PO back on there, and his throne room, like his throne overall, really isn't anything special. It's the base of the one from Book of Boba Fett where he has the actual chair. I took that off, I flattened it out, and I realized it has pretty much the same like dimensions and everything as the 2013 one, so I could fit the newer style Jabba on there with no issue. In the last video, I didn't have this newer Jabba. I had the original one from 2003, and I'm really happy to have this new one in my collection because it looks so much better. Like, just look at him. That is Jabba the Hutt. The other one, while it was cool back in the day, I would rather have this one, so I think that is really cool. We have some stairs on either side of the throne room so people can walk up. And, of course, we have the trapdoor, where Luke is standing right now. On my previous video, I had the Technic pin over on this side, but I expanded, and I'll get into that stuff in just a minute. But I had to move that in order to make room for the extra little area. So it is now on the right side here. You guys can see that. We have this little Technic pin right here. put Luke right on the top of the trap door. So he's standing right in front of Jabba. Then you just pull that pin, and then he falls down through and to the Rancor pit. We'll take a look at this area in just a second. I want to show you guys the rest of the overall part of the top of Jabba's palace. So with the trap door down and everything, you can now pull Jabba's throne up, and it lines up almost right where he can look down onto the pit. A bit Fortuna fall off there, but there he goes. So that was another really important feature when I was designing this. I wanted to make sure the throne could actually move forward. You could have, you know, Jabba looking down through. You could have, you know, let's put Dengar right there so you can watch the Rancor fight Luke. So again, very important feature for this set. And now over to this side here, we have a small little room, and I wanted to have a place to display Han Solo frozen in carbonite. In the original model, I had it kind of where we have Jack Sparrow now, just kind of over in the corner hiding, and I wanted it to be a bit more prominent in the design. So what I came up with is this little room that comes off. There are Technic holes all throughout the structure of this, so it can be pretty modular. If you didn't want this part on, you could take it off. You know, I wanted to give myself the option of designing, and it also makes it easy to move around and have it stored, to get all the side things off and just have the main structure being on a shelf, just have these over in a corner or something. So that's kind of the reason why I went with the modular Technic route. Here we have a Trandoshan, we have a Rodian there. They can kind of just stand and look at Han Solo as a reminder to not cross the hut. Over in this little corner, we have a little like data pad thing, like a little console thing. I don't know, I just thought it looked kind of cool. We have a little chair and a table with some drinks on it. Not a lot going on right here. You do have this pretty nice archway. Again, this was mostly just to have the carbonite slab displayed. You know, you could put minifigures and stuff in there. I just think it looks better than having it tucked away in a corner. It isn't accurate. It would be more accurate, I think, if it was displayed like that. But I want to display this at conventions and stuff, and I think having it away from the viewer would just make it not look as good. It would be more accurate and everything, sure, but I just didn't really want to do it that way. Moving over to the other side, we have the Watchtower. This has primarily stayed the same from when I got it in the Boba Fett set. The only thing I really did is I added a little bit more height to it. The overall structure is the same. I'll show you guys what this all looks like from the back at the end of the video, but the only thing I really changed here is I have Lando Calrissian from the Sarlacc pit set. Have him up there, you know, getting his disguise ready. He's gonna go help Luke out. I wanted to include Lando somewhere in the set because I do like the skiff outfit. So I figured just at top of the Watchtower would be really good, just kind of like a little hidden Easter egg. One more thing I wanted to talk about, then we'll go down to the Rancor pit, is the roof. This is something I struggled with for the majority of the build. I had a pretty good solution for the last one, just using some round pieces to kind of get the dome overall, but I really was not satisfied with it. It did not look like Jabba's palace unless it had those big, like the round discs and everything. That to me is Jabba's palace, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree with that. It really does not look the same unless it has that big round roof, and that is why I decided to bite the bullet and I put this together, which the overall design is very similar to the 2013 one. Of course, I keep saying that, but I had to buy these pieces. And if you guys do not know, these pieces only came in one set, the original Jabba's palace, and they were expensive. They were maybe, I don't know, like $10 each or something. They're hard to find. Only came in that one set, you know, 10 years ago, more than that. But I really wanted it, and having it on there, just, it looks right. Having it on there, now it looks like Jabba's palace to me. Now it is the definitive version of Jabba's palace. Having that roof is essential to me. It looks so much better than it did before with, you know, the more flat roof. I think having this just makes it look so much better. I love having this on there. So I do not really regret that decision. I think that was very important, especially since I am going to display this at conventions and stuff. I wanted it to look as good as I could make it. So that was very important to me. And this is only connected to the to the top of the building with 3 studs on the corners there. So it does make it easy for it to come off. So if I wanted to add more, if I wanted to get my hands in there, it just makes it a lot easier. I am thinking about lighting this just a little bit, having, you know, maybe just a light on the ceiling or something so it's easy to see in there, because it is pretty dark in there. And I do have 2 studio lights beaming in there, and they're doing the best that they can, but I really just want more light in there. And now moving down to the Rancor pit, I am very proud of the way this turned out. This was a big inspiration from the original Rancor pit set. I really did not know how I was going to do this. I didn't know if I wanted to have all of the walls, you know, completely built in, but I am pretty proud of the way this looks. I'm, you know, not against having the open walls. It allows a lot more light in there, and again, like, that I'm going to display this, having light in there is very important so people can actually see in. So yeah, I wasn't sure how I was going to do that, but I'm glad I decided on just doing like the pillars and stuff like the original one. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. We have our Luke Skywalker that fell in there, put it back on the top of the palace. We have the Rancor. That was something exciting to put together. This is not a fully 100% completed Rancor. The arms, or the hands I should say, are not fake, but they are custom. When I was doing the Bricklink orders and stuff for the Rancor, I realized that the hands and the fingers for this thing were so expensive. It was, I think, $20 altogether for the wrist areas, and then he has 2 or 3 fingers for each hand, and those, again, were going to be very expensive, and also not to mention, they are in the brittle brown, so those could have just broken if I, you know, put them on there. So I didn't really want to risk spending $20 or so on fingers for the chance that they would break. So I just kind of went with my own custom design here. We have them on a Technic pin, so you get a lot of mobility with these. You have the claws and everything. Of course, wanted to make sure it had that feature of being able to grab minifigures and stuff. And here we have a Rancor, or not a Rancor, we have a Gamorrean guard. This is one of the original ones. Have that in his hand. You can move it around into his mouth, so you can go like that, which, again, having features like that for a minifigure like this, or a big fig monster thing, is important to me. I wanted to have that level of detail, and I do think they look pretty good. I think they are just a little too big in terms of overall scale for the Rancor. They are pretty big because they take multiple pieces. These were not specialized molds for the minifigure or the big fig. But overall, I'm proud of the way those came out, and I'm happy that I didn't spend so much money on just a little minuscule thing. I would have rather put that money towards the roof of the building, you know, so priorities were set, and I'm happy with my decision. Moving on, you guys can see we have a lot of detail and stuff in there. I tried my best to add as much stuff in there as I could without making it look too cluttered. Like, we have a skeleton back there, a stormtrooper helmet, a rib cage thing, some bones, a little turkey leg right there. And if I move this over to the side here, you can see that is the little prison jail cell that Luke tries to escape through. That's where ideally the Rancor Keeper would be. I don't have that minifigure yet, but I plan on getting him very soon. So when I have that minifigure, he's going to be over in that area. I'll take a bigger look at that in just a minute. But that's pretty much it for the Rancor pit area. There's not a whole lot to talk about. There is a gate in the back that doesn't open or close. That's stationary. That's as low and as high as it'll get, because I learned having a gate like that would affect the structural integrity of the entire thing, because it is supporting a lot of weight here. These pillars, these 4 thin little pillars, are holding up the entire Jabba's palace, and I didn't want to get rid of any supports that I have running through this thing, because I did not want this to fall in on itself. That would not be good. A lot of time would be wasted. So I decided just to scrap that little detail and have it how it is now. I'll take a look at the right side first. Here we have a little prison cell with Chewie, Han, and just another one of Jabba's prisoners. Again, these are kind of in the module sense. You can take these off, you can move them around wherever you want, so I think that is really cool. Again, I'm proud of myself for coming up with that. Not a whole lot to talk about in here. We have a little pizza box, we have a jail cell that can open. yeah, this is just kind of the holding cell that they put Han and Chewie in after the rescue attempt failed. So I thought that was really cool, just a bit more detail and overall depth for the entire set. Just another little scene to display there. Moving over to this side, this is ideally, like I said, where the Rancor Keeper would be. I don't have him right now. I think I just had the Ithorian in here for like, just to keep the space lively. We have a scrapped droid right here. I kind of wanted to add the droid prison, like, torture area, and maybe put, like, R2 in there or something, but I couldn't really find the room to put that anywhere with it looking good still. So, just a little nod to that right there. We have this really cool Firestar Toys printed piece, Rider and Rancor. I saw that. I thought that looked really cool. I knew I wanted to put that in this mock somewhere, so having it with the Rancor Keeper just seemed like a good decision to me. We have just an empty bottle over there. We have some food for the Rancor right there. We have just a little bucket. We have the key to unlock the doors and everything. So not a lot going down there either. I do kind of want to space these out a little bit, but I don't know what to add without it looking like having too much, you know? I think having the little vignette style things are really cool. And one thing I should mention, this was kind of inspired by the original Jabba's Palace, the 2003 one, how you could, like, you got the other sets, you built those separately, you put them together, and you made the Jabba's Palace. Like, you had the one with R2, 3PO, and Bib Fortuna, then you had the one with Boba Fett and Carbonite, then you had, like, the main structure, and you just attach those to the sides. So that's really what the inspiration was behind this. You know, multiple little builds coming together to make one big thing. So here it is from the back, and this really isn't the display side that I'm going to be showing off. Of course, you want to show off the interior because that's where all the cool stuff is, but I just figured I would show you guys this from the back, and I do think this looks really good, specifically these two right here. Having these just kind of hanging off the sides really does not look that great. This is definitely the more ugly camera side. We have the Rancor pit right there with the back of the gate. Yeah. So a lot of this kind of stuff was untouched when it came to remodeling Boba Fett's palace, because that's really what the skeleton of this whole thing is. The foundation of this was built upon the Boba Fett's throne room. So, you know, a lot of that you can still see here with just the overall build of the watchtower and everything. So a lot of that stuff did stay the same. But again, this is not going to be displayed from this angle. But yeah, that's going to do it for that. So let's close out the video. So I know this is not the best angle, but I really want to try to get everything in the shot at one time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoyed putting this together, and I also enjoyed building this thing. This took me so long to put together, a lot of planning, bricklink orders, and just tinkering around with parts, seeing what I liked going together. So this is definitely a passion project of mine. I really wanted a Jabba's Palace when I was a kid, but couldn't afford one, couldn't justify buying it on eBay or whatever. So having this, the ultimate play scale version, as I like to call it, is really cool. I like having the extra rooms on there. It's great for play. It's great for display as well. I think just having this all together and looking at it, I just feel a lot of pride coming out of this. I put a lot of work into this, seeing this come out as the way I wanted it to. It's rewarding, it really is. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this build or enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to my channel if you're new here. I would really appreciate it. I love doing builds like this. It's great to show them off to you guys, to show you guys what I've been working on. And if you guys have any projects you want to show off to me, send them to me on my Instagram. I can tag you guys in my stories or whatever. If you guys want to chat, let me know. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.